Hello student, let's discuss on chapter 5, that is heredity and variations. But before that, let's discuss on certain terms, that is chromosome, genes and alleles. Chromosome are the hereditary materials and it transfer the genetic information from one parent to the next offspring. The chromosome, this is the structure of chromosome, and this are called as the sister chromatids. Now each of these chromatids we occur one from father and one from mother. Now inside these chromatids we have the genetic material, that is the DNA. I have drawn this DNA here. This DNA, certain sequence or segment of the DNA code for a particular specific protein, that is genetic information. So the sequence of the DNA that code for particular protein is called as the gene or the coding region, and the segment of the DNA which do not code for any protein are called as the non-coding segment. Now I have represented the coding and the non-coding segment here, coding with the dark blue and the non-coding with the light color. Now this coding region, this side is represented by capital T and this side is represented by small t. So this T capital is the alternate gene of this again, and this small t is the alternate gene of this capital T again. So the alternate form of same gene is called as the alleles. So these alleles occur in pair, since one is the alternate of other and this is the alternate of this again. So the alternate form of same gene is called as alleles. Now let's understand on the meaning of capital and small letter. Capital letter stand for dominant and small letter stand for recessive. Dominant are those which express in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. Recessive express only in the homozygous condition. Now what is homozygous condition? Here both T are capital and here both T are in small letter. Alleles always occur in pair. So when the alleles both are in capital or in small letter, this condition is called as the homozygous condition. Homo means same. So next is heterozygous. Hetero means different. So here one capital T and one small t. So this condition is called as a heterozygous condition. Let's study on the Mendel experiment. Mendel, Gregor Johann Mendel was the first to explain the mechanism of transmission of characters from parents to the offspring. Therefore, Gregor Johann Mendel is called as the father of genetics. He conducted his experiment from a garden pea plant. The scientific name is Pygium sativum. To conduct his experiment, he selected seven characters. So the first character is seed shape. In seed shape, he selected two contrasting character. That is round and wrinkle. Round is the dominant and the wrinkle is the recessive. The second character is seed color. In seed color, yellow is the dominant and green is the recessive. The third character is the flower color. In flower color, he chose two color, that is violet and white. Violet is the dominant and white is the recessive. The fourth character is the pod shape. In pod shape, he selected inflated and constricted pod shape. The fifth character is the pod color. In pod color, he selected green and yellow. So the green is dominant and yellow is recessive. The sixth, that is flower position, is he selected axial and terminal. The seventh is the stem height. Stem height, he selected tall and dwarf. Tall is dominant and dwarf is the recessive. I also encourage you to go through this 7 pair of contrasting character that is in your textbook. Now Mendel experiment. Mendel conducted his experiment in 3 steps. The first step is the selection of the pure breeding parent plants. Pure breeding parent plants, these are those plants which produce offspring having the same character like that of the parent. If the parent is tall, then the offspring will also be definitely tall. So this type of parent are called as pure breeding parent plants. He selected 7 contrasting characters and allowed them to self-pollinate, and found out that these self-pollinating plants produces pure line characters in the offspring. Pure line means, just now I told you, if parent is tall, definitely offspring will be tall. If the parent is dwarf height, the offspring will be dwarf again. So these are called as the pure line. Okay, so such pure breeding plants are referred to as pure line plants or the homozygous plants. Now the second one is the hybridization of pure plant. Hybridization means mixing. So Mendel performed hybridization by performing many crosses in plants with a contrasting character. Contrasting character means opposite character. Let's say tall and short. Tall is the opposite of short, short is the opposite of tall. So this is the opposite character. So this character is called as the contrasting characters. Now for this hybridization, let's first discuss the reciprocal cross. What is reciprocal cross? Reciprocal cross refers to involve two crosses having same character. So two crosses having same character but reverse sex. Now let's try to understand what is the two crosses and reverse sex in this reciprocal cross. The first cross and second cross. The first in the first cross, let's try to understand from here. In the first cross, tall, the character tall is being given by male. Now in this case there are two T. Don't get confused because I told you that alleles are the alternate form of same gene and they always occur in pair. So this tall character is given by this dominant T and it is contributed by male, and dwarf character is being contributed by female. So dwarf character is represented by small t. Now the parent, the male give rise to tall, capital T, that is tall, and female dwarf give small t, that is dwarf height. Now after crossing this tall and dwarf height alleles, it gives rise to capital T and small t. That means the offspring have both the characters of tall and short, tall and dwarf, that is both male and female. But in this case, this hybrids, that means this offspring is also called as child or hybrids, since they carry both the characters of male and female. In this case, the offspring will become tall, though it has even the dwarf character, because I told you that the capital T will be dominating over the recessive one. Therefore, the child will become tall. This offspring that result from the hybridization of the male and female is called as the F1 generation. So F1 generation, F stands for filial or offspring. Therefore, this F1 generation is also called as first filial generation. Now the second cross, according to reciprocal, we are going to conduct two cross, that means first and second cross, and it says that same character but with reverse sex. So in this case, tall is being contributed by male, but in second cross tall will be contributed by female. Here dwarf is contributed by female, so in second cross dwarf will be contributed by male. So this type of cross where two crosses involving same character but reverse sex is called as the reciprocal cross. So the offspring or the hybrid will be same even though their sexes changes. Now the second one will be monohybrid cross. Monohybrid means, mono means one, so cross involving one pair of contrasting character, tall and dwarf. Now in this case, tall will give T and this one will T, so these are one pair of contrasting character. So this is called monohybrid cross. And dihybrid cross means cross involving di means two. So cross involving two pairs of contrasting character. In this case, let's go back to the characters that has been chosen by the Mendel in P plan. He chose 7 characters. Out of that, for this, let's take an example of seed color and seed shape. For seed color, he took yellow round, yellow and round. I told you that yellow is dominant and round is recessive. And seed shape, for seed shape he took round, for seed color he took yellow and green. Yellow is dominant and green is recessive. And for seed shape he took round and wrinkle. Round is dominant and wrinkle is recessive. So in this case, yellow will be represented by capital Y because yellow is dominant. Round will be represented by capital R because round is dominant. And wrinkle will be indicated by Y. Don't get confused that green is represented by G. It should be G. No, it's not like that, because we are talking about not the color and not the alphabet, but we are talking about the character. So if yellow is dominant and green is recessive, then if yellow is Y, capital Y, then green have to be small y. Same as in this case, round is dominant, represented by R. Capital R means wrinkle is the recessive character of this round. Therefore, this wrinkle have to be represented by small r again. So this type of crossing that is involving 1 2 1 2, so two pair of contrasting character, is called as the dihybrid cross. We will be discussing this mono and dihybrid cross in extensively in the next topic again. Now the third step is the self-breeding in the F1 hybrid to obtain F2 offspring. Self-breeding means breeding among the offspring of the F1 generation. Let's say the parent tall and dwarf. After crossing, it give the heterozygous tall. So in this case, the heterozygous tall will be crossing among heterozygous tall again. This one, heterozygous tall. So this one is the hybrid of the F1 generation. This is also hybrid of F1 generation. Now after this, how they will cross is that this gamete will, both of them will occur, and the capital T will fuse with this side, capital T, and this capital T will cross again with this small t again. So once this and this across, it gives rise to capital T, T and small t will give rise to this, and small t will even cross with both of these. So T capital and small t here, small t. Now here 4 hybrids, that means 4 offspring arise. So these 4 offspring that arise by the crossing or hybridization of the first F1 generation, that is these 4 hybrids arising by the crossing of the F1 generation is called as the F2 generation. So this is how F3 and F4 generation will go. F3 will arise from the hybridization of F2 again. So F4 generation will arise through the hybridization of F3 again. So this will go on like this. Now this is both T and T, both are capital, so it is tall, and both are in same capital letter, so this homozygous tall. Homo means same. Here T capital and small t, this will be this is tall, this will also become tall because T capital will dominate over the short t, but in this case it will be heterozygous tall. Here also it will be heterozygous tall. Here it will be dwarf. And I told you that recessive characters always express in homozygous condition. So this is both of them are in homozygous. So this is homozygous dwarf. Now if you calculate the number of offspring who are tall, that means 1 2 3. So this is 3 tall and 1 dwarf. Or if you want to give their homozygous and heterozygous condition, then homozygous 1 homozygous, and heterozygous means 1 2, so 2 heterozygous, and 1 dwarf, that means 1 dwarf. So if you plus 2 heterozygous and 1 homozygous, total 3, and 1 dwarf. So this is the experiment conducted by the Gregor Johann Mendel.